Hey, shalom, shalom. Anak na waha bar inshallah walakim la'atam. Call Shabawai Baharacha Wakak Shaw Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua Ma'amat, which is truly. Hey, with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua, the priest, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians as life foreigners. Nacham Atam Kaya Malakot Hashemayim Korah, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Laim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua Bahasham Racha HaKodash Wa Mashana Kabadim Zukaim Nawa Wa Malakim Shaw Yashla Zukaim Racha Gadawa Wa Chasa Wa Shalom Wa Barakim Laha Bacharim Shaw Ha Kawayasha Shalom. Alright, so all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means he exists by Hashem in the name of Yahushua he delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. So today's lesson is entitled Maya Hayalal. Alright, Marshana Maya Hayalal. Alright, and that pretty much means who is Lucifer. You see, because these so-called Christians, they like to go into this topic and they think that, Satan fell from heaven, but it's not scriptural. So I want to go into that. This is Yeshaya, also Isaiah chapter 14, and we'll get verse 12. It reads, How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? All right. Now, when we go into this term Lucifer, right? It says, Hayalal. It says, light bearer, shining one, morning star, Lucifer, of the king of Babylon. And it says Shaitan figuratively, but it's not going to the spiritual demon. Satan is going to his physical counterpart. It says, in the sense of brightness, the morning star. All right. And what is the morning star? Let's go into the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon. All right. And it reads, it says, bright star, Lucifer, nor is this a bad rendering, for there is added Ban Shachar, which Ban is sun, Shachar is like early, so that means son of the morning. And then the Chaldee also, Lucifer, the morning star, is also, so like it's called Kawakab, Nagaha, Kawakab Nagaha in Arabic, Bayashma Allah. Splendid star. According to the opinion, Hayalal would be derived from the root halal, to shine, as participle noun of the conjugate quietal, all right, and the like or else quadrilateral verb Hayalal, Hayakal, Hayadad wa. However, Hayalal itself is not unfrequently improper or imperative, one of them words, of the verb yalal, and the signification will lament, and this does not appear less suitable and is adopted by the Syrian and Jerome. This is less suitable. Now, let's go back. All right, and this term also ties to in the sense of the morning star, because Hamashiach, is known as the morning star. But in this verse, it's talking about the physical counterpart of Shaitan on the earth, which is the elites. All right, the king of Babylon. And that term Hayalal is going into Venus. Actually, that's the bright and morning star, because when you look at Venus in the morning, it's the brightest star in the sky. All right, so let's just get some precepts on that. I got some notes written down right here. It says Hayalal also references the planet Venus, because the planet Venus in the morning would be the brightest star out before the sun came out, and at certain times it shined in darkness. And pretty much that's what the elites take pride. They take pride in themselves on that. They shine in darkness, so to speak, because the earth is in gross darkness. And let's get that. This is Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 1. It says, Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. You see, so the world is in gross darkness, you see. So the elites pride themselves in using their witchcraft and staying in the light, so to speak. You know, the so-called the left-hand light, you know, because they understand the things that's going on the left-hand side while everybody else is in darkness. The only people that knows what's going on, you know, is the elites and the elect, you know, with the elect having more knowledge, you know, because the knowledge of wickedness, the knowledge of wickedness is not knowledge, you know. It's just the Lord gave Esau a little sliver of, you know, left-hand knowledge, or he gave him left-hand knowledge. So this devil prides himself on that. That's why when we go to Isaiah, or it's like Psalms 144 and verse 8, it talks about how he pretty much relies on the left hand. His right hand is a right hand of falsehood. He relies on deception, and that's because this devil was made to be the wicked. You know, he was meant to shine on the left hand side. All right, but in comparison to the righteous light, the left hand isn't an actual light compared to the righteous light. You know. Moving on, let's get we'll go to Isaiah, Yeshaya chapter 25. We'll get verse 7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. All right, and this is going into you know, Esau's refuge of lies. All right, that's what he uses to stay in that light. He keeps everybody else in a dumbed down state. You know, everybody other than the elect, he keeps him in a dumbed down state in order to maintain his power, you know. And this is why, you know, Za'amath, this truth, you know, is destroying this devil's schemes. All right, let's get another one. This is Isaiah, Yeshaya chapter 28, and we'll get verse 17. It says, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place. And this is pretty much what Esau confides in. Let's get his word for hiding. It says hiding. Salak. Satar. Covering. Shelter. Hiding place. Secrecy. Protection. Disguise. Covert. Literal or figurative. Secrecy. Hidden. Salah. All right. It says, this is the word satar. It says protection, defense. And you got defense, you know. You have strength and protection and defense, you see. So going back to the point, you know, how Esau uses everybody else's ignorance to his for his enterprise. You see, because he confides, he uses secrecy as a defense and protection. You know, and that's one way how he's able to keep his that's one way that coincides, you know, with his power and his rulership, you know. That's why they call themselves the Illuminati. Illuminati means the illumination that pretty much goes into light, you know. You got the left hand light. All right, let's get another one. Let's get 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. We get verse 7. So it reads, it says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Lord is allowing this devil to, you know, do his wickedness amongst the earth. Because the scriptures say, you know, roughly paraphrasing, it said that the devil pretty much would go into the pit and then be loose for a little season, roughly paraphrasing, you know. So Esau is perpetrating his wickedness, just like the time before, back in like Rome, you know, Greece. You know, now he's able to, this is Rome 2.0, so he's coming back and he's revamping everything that came from these other civilizations, all that left-hand knowledge, and he's repackaged it and to bring in Rome 2.0, you know. which is America, Babylon the Great, you see, which coincides with the king of Babylon, Malak Shah Babal, all right, who is Lucifer, not the spiritual demon Shaitan, going into the physical counterpart, the elites, all right. Let's keep going. It says, and then that wicked shall be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. That's true light right there. Going back to Isaiah, Yeshaya 28:17, righteousness will I lay to the plummet and judgment to the line, roughly paraphrasing. This devil is being consumed with the spirit of the Lord's mouth. Going into the scriptures, he's being completely exposed. All right. Let's keep going. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Shaitan with all power and signs and lying wonders. It says after the working. All right, now let's go into this. It says, NLT, this man will come to do the work of Shaitan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. All right, so if he's doing the work of Satan, that means that pretty much that's his physical counterpart. He's employed by Satan, so to speak. You know, on the left-hand side, he's employed by the Lord, you see, but he confides and he communes with Shaitan and those demons, you know, pretty much doing Satan's job on the earth, you know. Let's keep going. Let's get I got something written down. It says light ultimately is wisdom, but at times as knowledge as a whole, Hayalal always refer to Venus. So pretty much that term, the morning star, generally refers to Venus. Because again, these Christians like to say, well, that's talking about when Satan fell from heaven. But you can't find that in the scriptures, you know. I'm going to keep going. It says, Hayalal always referred to Venus, which was the brightest star prior to the sun, Hashamash Mazarak, which is Hashamash, the sun. Mazarak is rising before the sun would rise, you know. It says emphasizing brilliance. That is why it's called son of the morning, going into brilliance. Now let's get that. This is Tahalium Psalm chapter 64. We'll get verse 6. All right, it reads, it says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Hey, so Esau on the left-hand side, you know, he's MacGyver on the left-hand side. You know, he's super smart. You know, he does his research. You know, when you hunt an animal, you know, you gotta know what they like. You gotta study their patterns in order to understand how to trap them. You gotta understand, you know, their mind, how they think and everything. So Esau has figured Jake out to a T. You know, that's why the scriptures call him a cunning hunter. Let's get that. This is Barashith, also Genesis chapter 25, or chapter is it 25? Might be 26. 25 and verse or 27. Or 25 and 27. Yep. This is Barashith, also Genesis chapter 25 and verse 27. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Yaquab was a plain man dwelling in tents. So pretty much Esau's blessing ties in with that his sword. His sword comes in the form of, you know, it can come in the form of his witchcraft. You know, he does the research. You know, he knows how Jake is as a people, how to keep Jake going off. He understands that our kryptonite is sin as a nation. You know, so he does everything in his power to deceive Jake for the most part, but he's not going to be able to get the elect. You know, but just the point that they got that left-hand knowledge. All right. Going back to Psalms 64 and 6, you know, because they've been given that understanding on the left hand, you know. Let's get another one. Let's get Job Ayawab, chapter 38. Let's get verse 16. It says, we'll start from verse 15. It says, we'll start from, Start from verse 12. This is Job, Ayawab, chapter 38, and verse 12. It says, Hast thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the dayspring to know his place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it? It is turned as clay to the seal, and they stand as a garment, and from the wicked their light is withholden, and their high arm shall be broken. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the depth? Have the gates of death been opened unto thee, or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Declare if thou knowest it all. It says, Where is the way where light dwelleth? And as for darkness, where is the place thereof? Let me go back up. NLT, it says, this is Job 38 and 15. The light disturbs the wicked and stops the arm that is raised in violence. All right, so pretty much they have that, they got that left hand knowledge, you know. But again, going to the scriptures, it says knowledge of wickedness is not knowledge. Roughly paraphrasing, you see. So their light ultimately compared to the right hand, you know, to reiterate, that's why, you know, I said it in the beginning of the video, pretty much that light is nothing compared to the right hand, the right hand light. All right, it says, and stops the arm that is raised in violence. All right, and I want to go back. It says, hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the depth? You see, because Esau has that, he has that knowledge on the left hand, not this knowledge though. He hasn't searched out all the earth. You know, he doesn't know everything. He just has a certain amount of power. You know, he has a certain amount of power on the left hand side. All right, it says, have the gates of death been opened unto thee, or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Declare if thou knowest it all. All right, it says, do you realize the extent of the earth? Tell me about it if you know. NLT. All right, Job 38 and 18. The answer is he doesn't have this knowledge. All right. Let me get this in the NLT as well. Job 38 and 19, it says, where does light come from and where does darkness go? Leave it to Esau. He'll tell you it came from him, you know, but he doesn't know. You know, he just filled up with that pride. All right. Continuing on. Let's get we get Psalms chapter 104. Just going into that point. All right. The Hayalal 104 and verse 25. It says, verse 24, it says, O Lord, how manifold are thy works, and wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. So is this great and wide sea, wherein all things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts. Now, creeping things innumerable, all right, that means without number, you see. So because Esau, he likes to perpetrate that, you know, he knows he searched this amount of the seas and this amount of, you know, land and stuff like that. But it's still a lot. It's a large portion that this devil has not searched. That's why the scriptures say, if thou can, you know, search out the sea, or something about the moon, or if the moon was still out in the, you know, in the sky, you know, the Lord would do away with his people. But it's not possible. You know, this devil can't search out everything, you see. So it shows you that it's a limitation to his left hand knowledge. He has left hand knowledge, you know, but there is limits to it. All right. Now, continuing on, we can get Yahazak Allah, also Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 1. It says, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord, because thine heart is lifted up. Going back to, it said, the scripture we got in Job, you know, if thou, you know, can say where the light came from, or if you knowest all these things, roughly paraphrasing. Again, you know, just speaking as a man, you know, Esau say, oh, he did it, you know. But continuing on, I'm going to read it again. It says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart has lifted up, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee. You know, the same spirit. It says, and thou hast said, I am a power. I sit in the seat of power in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man and not the Most High. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High, going back to though thou set thy not that one. Pretty much I will be like the Most High. It was I think it's Isaiah 14:14. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna get that real fast. This is Isaiah 14:14. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's pretty much this devil's MO, you know. He feel like he did it, you know. That's why he comes perpetrating his science. You know, he pushes his ways of life on everybody. He feel like, you know, he's the Most High. It says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Hey, because, again, he got that left-hand knowledge, you know. And while, for the most part, this world is in gross darkness. So Esau has figured everyone else out. You know, he wants the elect, but he's not going to be able to get them, you know. Because, again, that wickedness has limitations, all right. It says, with thy knowledge, or with thy wisdom, and with thine understanding, the left-hand knowledge, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. But thy great wisdom, and by thy traffic, hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. So he feel like, since he's in a specific position, you know, he's proud. You know, he feel like his shit don't stink. It says, and by thy traffic, and that traffic is going into, that should be kind of Canaan. Because no, that's not Canaan. Well, pretty much Canaan goes into traffic as well, merchandise. This says Rakala, but I'm gonna get Canaan as well, because that goes into traffic, merchandise, trading. It's a lot. Kana'ain says merchant, trader, right there. Traffickers, also country inhabited by him. Canaan, merchant, traffic, you see. America is known as a land of traffic as well. But going back, let's get we'll go back to the Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 6 or verse 5. It says, and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Let's get this in another version. It says, yes, your wisdom has made you very rich, and your riches have made you very proud. You see? By your great skill in trading, you have increased your wealth, and because of your wealth, your heart has grown proud. You see? So this devil has became proud, you know, or he is the proud. All right. He feels like because he's in that specific position, you know, even though he's the basis of men, that point has completely slipped past him. You see, because he's in that position, you know, the Lord gave him that position. The scriptures say, the Lord rules in the kingdom of men, and he will give it to whom he pleases. Roughly paraphrasing. This is Luke chapter 16, verse 8. It says, and the Lord commended the unjust steward because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. Hey, so 2/3, you know, they're dumber than Esau, Edom. You know, that's why the scriptures say they're in gross darkness. They're in gross darkness, and then also, if it was possible, to deceive the elect, that they would, you know. Roughly paraphrasing, but it's not possible to deceive the elect. But on that same token, they have deceived the rest of the world, and they're going to continue to deceive the rest of the world. All right, let's get another one. This is Luke chapter 10 and verse 18. It reads, it says, and he said unto them, I beheld Shaitan as lightning falling from heaven. All right, going back to the scripture we just got in Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 1 through 5. All right, it talked about pretty much that term heaven right there, verse 18. Let's get that. I'm curious what that says, this term heaven. It says the universe. It says Salat. It's right here. It says through the idea of elevation, the sky, all right, by implication, happiness, power, eternity. All right, so what's applied right here? Through the idea of elevation and happiness and power. You see, they feel like they was going to maintain that power forever. Psalms 49:11. They feel like their houses shall continue forever. You see, going back to Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 1 through 5. You know, they're from their knowledge and their or through the riches, through their position. And what does that position coincide with? It coincides with happiness and power going into heaven. That's why it says right here, it says, and he said unto them, I beheld Shaitan as lightning falling from heaven, falling from their position. Because it says pretty much going into this verse, the elite, you know, that power is going to be snatched from them. You see how they slithered their way up, you know, and when Jake was in rulership, when we was in rulership, they slithered their way up into the coat of arms and stuff like that. You know, that was a process. But this, when they fall out of power, it's going to be quick. You know, that's why it says, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. You know, it's going to be fast. And we can see it spiraling down fast, you know. And also it says, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. You know, lightning is quick, you know, and say you was falling from that estate, right? If you falling from that estate, you know, you're a little shaken. You know, that's why when we go into this is power is so like this is Mark chapter 13 and verse 25. It says, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. You see, because the power is going into the elites, they being shaken because they falling fast, you know, and they can see that power being taken from them, that estate, you know, their riches, you know, everything they got deceitfully, all that is being taken away from them. So they going from, you know, what they've gotten on the left hand side, which truly, you know, it's not nothing because it's a shitty kingdom, you know, but they're gonna fall from that. You know, they're gonna be right back in them damn chains, you know. Continuing on, let's get Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 47. We'll get verse 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right. Now they're no longer going to be the bearers of light. All right. They're not going to be filthy rich. You know, they're not going to be seen as that guy. They're no longer going to be him with the all caps. You know, they're no longer going to be in this position right here. This is Job Ayawab chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Going into Psalms 144 and verse 8. All right, and I'm going to get that, you know, because I've quoted it twice, so let's get it. This is Psalms, the Hayalal chapter 144. We'll get verse 8. It says, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood, you see, because that's what they abide in. Going back to the covering, because that covering is pretty much how they were able to perpetrate their wickedness throughout the earth. They got people thinking that, you know, the Israelites are the lowest of the low, when truthfully, we are under the Lord, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah. All right. We are the best people on this earth. All right. It says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So who would it be if it was not the elites? Who can you not talk about? All right. Who can you not offend in this society? All right. The ones that you can't talk bad about, that's the ones that's in power. All right. Follow the money, you know. Not the ones that have the money. All right, them too, the ones that got the money. But who prints the money? Who's the ones that prints the money for the ones that's asking them to request them to print the money? That's the ones that's ultimately in rulership. Those are the ones that covered the faces, their ancestors, when really their ancestors coming back. They're the ones that cover the faces of the judges thereof, you see. Now continuing on. Salat. This is Bonsarat chapter 10. Bonsarat chapter 10. And we give verse 1, it says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And as the judges of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And the unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in the authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right, so unwise king destroys his people. You see? So that's how, that's how we know, all right, through the spirit, all right, and through what we see, all right, the knowledge that we've been given through the spirit, we can see that the elites are those left-hand light bearers, all right, the Illuminati, all right, who and who specifically abides in the codes of secrecy, all right, those specific groups, all right, and what do those specific groups do? They destroy the people, all right, they're using left-hand knowledge, and we know that they're using left-hand knowledge because it says, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The cities are not being inhabited, all right, and in order to be inhabited, one has to live, and this is not living. This is surviving. It's a death style. That's how we know that pretty much those in rulership is the wicked, all right, they got that left-hand knowledge. Now, continuing on, let's go back to Isaiah 47, Yeshaya, in verse 12. It's a lot. All right, it reads, it says, it's a lot. Slakia. This is Isaiah Yeshaya chapter 47 and verse 12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. All right. All right. And in the Hebrew, it's Aimaya na Bachabar Yaka Kaya. All right. I'm marching out to say again, Aimaya na Bachabar Yaka Kaya. All right. And that goes into, it says stand, which is Aimad, which it means to be established. That means to establish, to be established, Salah, and also to continue to endure. So keep doing the same things you've been doing. All right, we got Psalms 144 and verse 8, so that means to continue in them witchcrafts, because that's pretty much what they're going to do. Because if you go to Isaiah, Yeshaya chapter 19, Isaiah chapter 19, and we'll get verse, I believe it's verse 3. It says, the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. So they're going to continue in this, all right, because they can see that their rulership is being stripped from them, and we can see that they're doing that. That's why we got these mass deceptions. They just did the little alert the other day. They're putting stuff in the food. They're consulting with them witches and them warlocks. All right, now let me go back to that Isaiah chapter 47. It was verse 12. It said, now, Salah, Chabaryaka or Bachabaryaka, it's right here. It says, company, a magician, a charmer. All right, so continue right now with the charmers. Continue to do the things that you've been doing. And that's pretty much what they're going to keep doing. All right. That's pretty much what they're going to keep doing. All right, continuing on. Let's get, we got Psalms 144 and verse 8. Let's get Isaiah chapter 47, and we'll get verse 8. It says, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures. All right, and this is talking about those of Babylon. It says, thou that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. All right, and where do we see this at? We just got this in Bon Sirach chapter 10. It said, as a judge of the people is, so is himself, so are his officers. So, all right, this is the spirit This is the spirit of those in America, you see, but this gives you a synopsis of the spirit of the elites, because they pretty much taken on the spirit of the rulers. It says, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And that's what the Lord says. You know, they trying to be like the Lord. Isaiah 14:14. You know, it says, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And you go to this, it says, I am, and none else beside me. You see, going into Deuteronomy 6:4. You see, Deuteronomy 6:4 goes into, it says, Shemaya Sha'ala Yahweh Elohayna Yahweh Chai, which is the Lord, our power is one. You see, so that's the spirit that the Lord comes with. You see, because we're not supposed to serve anybody else or any other god, any idol. You see, same with that's Esau trying to mimic the Lord on the left hand side. You know, and it says, I am. The Lord's name is Yahweh. He exists. So that's pretty much Isaiah 14:14. That's Esau trying to copy, mimic on the left hand side. You know, it says, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and knowledge, and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. Thou hast said, in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Going back to how he's trying to copy the Lord. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall come upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. All right. Going back to that knowledge not being true knowledge, because the scriptures say wisdom is the defense, or money is a defense, and wisdom is a defense. But the excellency of wisdom is wisdom gives life unto those that have it. All right. So true wisdom, going back to true light, true knowledge, all right, which true light is will be awar amath, all right, true light, all right, going back to the wisdom, la hakama, to wisdom, bahalashwan kodash, in the holy tongue, all right, that's how you would say it, ha hakama, all right, the wisdom or the light, you know. But nevertheless, you know, verse 11. All right, they're not going to be able to put it off, you know. Their left-hand knowledge is not going to be able to deliver them. All right. That's why it's not truly wisdom, because true wisdom is going to be able to deliver you, you know. So that wisdom that you got, you know, on the left-hand side, it has an expiration date, you know, that in the sense of how long it's going to benefit you. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, let's continue on. Let's get Isaiah Yeshaya chapter 10. We get verse 33. It reads, it says, behold, the Lord of hosts shall lop the bow with terror, and the high ones of stature shall be hewn down, and the haughty shall be humbled, and he shall cut down the thickest of forests with iron, and Lebanon shall fall by a mighty one. All right, let's get another one. Let's get we get Isaiah Yeshaya chapter 2. We'll get verse 12 or verse 11. It says, the lofty looks of man shall be humble, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low, upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan. You see, so those that's lifted up, you know what I'm saying, they're going to be brought low. They're going to be brought low. All right, going into chiefly Esau, Edom, all right, and 2/3. All right. But going into them light bearers, so-called, you know, they're gonna be brought down low as well. All right, and let's get Mashaliah Proverbs chapter 26. We'll get verse 27. It says, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth the stone, it will return upon him. You see, so that's how they can be brought low, because they in that high state right now, you see, but they rolling traps on Jake, you know, the whole nation, you see, which is not going to have any effect, all right, on the elect, all right. They're not going to get in the way of the salvation of the elect, you see, but 2/3, you know, they'll be taken in them, you know, in them snares, you know. But see, the Lord is still judging Esau Edom for what he's doing to his people, you know. I want to get some more definitions. It says light bearer. It says they bear light, the light of the nations before them. So pretty much they bear, and it's talking about America, you see, because we're talking about the king of Babylon, which chiefly is the elites, all right? But they bear the light of the other nations. You see, they bear the left-hand light, the left-hand knowledge that these different nations was tapping into. You see the Egyptians, that's why it's called spiritual Egypt, you know, spiritual Sodom, you know, Assyria, Nineveh, Babylon. They taking all these and repackaging it into one. All right, America, Babylon the Great. All right. It says they perfected the so-called wisdom on the left hand and incorporated it into one, pretty much, you know. It says Lucifer really means Bawakwar Kawakab, which is Bawakwar is the morning. All right, Kawakab is star, the morning star. All right, Lux is light. All right, Fur means to carry. All right, so this coincides with the group, the Illuminati. So the Lord gave them left-hand knowledge. All right, so ultimately they can be judged in the end. Proverbs 26 and 27. All right, that left-hand knowledge. Whoso diggeth the pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth the stone it will return upon him. All right, so they pretty much, they use their left-hand knowledge, all right, to set them pits, all right, and to roll that stone. You see, but they truly in a trick bag. All right, they feel like they putting people in a trick bag, but nah, they in a trick bag, you know. It says, let's get another precept. All right, let's get Bon Sirach chapter 19 and verse 22. I believe I quoted this a couple times. So I'm going to go ahead and get it. This is Bon Sirach chapter 19 and verse 22. It reads, it says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. All right. It says, there is a wickedness and the same an abomination, and there's a fool wanting in wisdom. You see, because right hand wisdom is not what Esau Edom has. He has left hand knowledge. You see, he was given that that understanding on the left hand side. All right, that's why we got them precepts. All right, the stone, Proverbs 26 and 27. All right, Luke 10 and 18. All right, pretty much the Lord put him up. You see, he put him up. All right, I'm gonna get that real fast because the Lord put Esau in his position. All right, this is Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 5. It says, "O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation." All right, so pretty much the Lord has used Esau as a whipping stick for the nation of Yasha'Allah. All right, which Esau has used everything to coincide with his sword. All right, and also like with the witchcraft, you know, he's been using everything. If you had a fighter, all right, Esau was a fighter. He's used everything in his goddamn toolbox to come at the world, to destroy the world. All right, to destroy Jake as a people. All right, to destroy 2/3 as a people. You see, but he's not going to be able to have any effect on the salvation of the elect. To reiterate, a Marshana, to say again, La Marshana, to say again. All right, but pretty much that was the point. I don't want to Zaza Banayapa. Lord's will, that was a beautiful edification through the spirit. Wa I don't want to Zatham Yashi Wan Tawab. A Lord's will, you have a good day. A Shalom, Shalom.